In this hand, I have the Scarpa Zodiac. Are these the best hiking boots? Yes. And in this hand, I have the Salomon Quest. Are these the best hiking boots? Yes. Let me explain. Now, how can two boots be best for hiking? Now, hiking is a very, very vague and broad term. You might find yourself just hiking through your park or a nice groomed trail. You might find yourself hiking a mountaineering route up Mount Whitney. So just to say the best hiking boot, all that really depends on the application which the end user, you or myself, is actually going to use these boots. So what we have here are two very well regarded and tried and true hiking boots. First one is Scarpa Zodiac. These are handmade in Italy and just a good boot overall. A little bit more aggressive than what you would use on your normal hiking trail, or let's say just out there day hiking. Over here we have the Salomon Quest, which is another one tried and true, but I think these have kind of fallen, at least in my opinion, to the side for my application. So we're gonna go over to the strengths and weaknesses between the both of them. So the Scarpa Zodiac, handmade in Italy, a very lightweight boot. These are coming in at, let's get the little scale in there, ounces at 20 ounces even versus the Salomon. The Salomons are coming in at, gotta tear that out, at 24 ounces. So 4 ounce difference between the two boots. 8 ounce a pair, and obviously the larger boot, the more that's going to be varying. You can see through the size differences that the Salomon are higher boot, a bit more padding, which adds to the comfort, and this is a little bit more of a slimmer profile. If we look at the two boots, a little bit of a slimmer profile, and that kind of saves on the weight. But the construction and durability of the boot, I think, blows these out of the water. These are kind of soft and flexible, whereas the Scarpa is not. And that's where these two shine, because it depends where you're gonna use them. Overall, this is a per Wanger suede leather on the outside. We have a lot of cross stitching here where the laces are. The laces are asymmetrical. We have this rubber rand around the toe box, not a full rubber rand, but a partial rubber rand. 3-piece sole. We have a polyurethane and EVA 3D EVA midsole, which kind of acts like a shank and gives it some very good torsional stability. I mean, you're not going to rotate this boot around. The sole is made of Vibram Drumlin. The sole is made of Vibram Drumlin, which is a very hard wearing but sticky sole. And I actually love this sole compared to the proprietary Contra Grip or whatever Salomon uses. This on the granite in Sierra Nevadas is bar none. I hop on those boulders and I feel secure. We'll get a closer look of the boot itself. Like I said, we have these asymmetrical lacing. We have these metal hooks, Gore-Tex liner in here. And what is interesting is that the tongue is built within the actual boot. There's no separate kind of sewn in type of tongue, which is available in the Salomons. It's kind of just a one piece. So like I said, these are made in Italy. A lightweight, good boot. Where I see these shine, for me personally, I like these boots off trail. When I'm out there, either backpacking off trail, going through scree fields, talus fields, off trail, for backpack hunting, these boots absolutely shine. Using them with snowshoes, that stability, that torsional strength, and it's not too bad in which it tires my feet out. Backpacking, I've used these for backpacking, and I absolutely love the boot. Some of the cons, I think, the inner sole that it comes with is lacking. I mean, you always want to, if possible, add an aftermarket. These are aftermarket Nazaru insoles that I use for plantar fasciitis because, especially on my left side, I do have knee problems and I get a little bit of plantar fasciitis out there backpacking. These are lightweight. This boot per boot comes in at 20 ounces, which is extremely lightweight, especially for the stability and the durability that you get. I like the single piece Perwanger suede leather in the outside. This one has a lot of seams, a lot of textile use in here. It just, the durability between the two, I'll get water leaking into this boot shortly after a season, maybe season and a half. These guys have yet to let any moisture in, and I've taken them for just the same amount in a single season that I would use these boots, and the durability is bar none. The one thing that does stand out are these bright colors. They get subdued after use, but it was kind of a change to have that bright orange and a bright yellow, but like I said, you can see those colors kind of subdue after use. If you like to keep your boots clean, these are going to be horrific. This leather grips any type of dust, any type of trail debris, and it just holds onto it. You need to actually take a brush to make it even look this good. I actually spent some time scrubbing it just for this video. Where I find these boots lacking, as an aggressive kind of off-trail use, you do not want to use these around town. I was just out there just a couple days ago looking for mushrooms, and as soon as I got off the hill and onto a paved road, you can tell you're wearing a stiff boot. These do not feel good around town. They do not feel good on asphalt. They do not feel good on flat, maintained trails. It's very stiff. Where that comes into play, and is actually a great benefit, is any type of loose substrate. So whether you're talus, snow, scree, loose rock, off trail, having that ability to kind of dig in your toe or your side of your foot gives you that extra stability that you need, that I need, that I feel is fantastic. When I had these and I'm going through scree fields or snow fields, I did not have the security that I felt I need. But this boot versus the Salomons versus the Zodiac are kind of like all-terrain, mud-terrain tires versus an all-season tire. This has a good amount of stability, but should you find yourself needing that extra traction, these perform, these shine. But once you get onto the asphalt, you hear that vibration, you hear that humming, whereas your all-terrain or your all-season tire acts much nicer, but there is a little bit of a sacrifice in stability. Another consideration is that these boots cost a little bit more than Salomon's, not too bad, but it's more narrow focus in its use. You're going to want to find, at least for me, use them kind of that off-terrain, that scree fields, snow fields, talus, off-trail. I'm not going to wear these to walk the dogs. I'm not going to wear these to a nice groomed, flat, maintained trail because it's going to tire my feet out. You may like a stiffer boot, but I would not use this to walk my dogs, even just through a nice trail, maintained trail. I would use these backpacking, hiking, in places where I'm going to go up and down hills, need that stability, stick to some of the granite that's out here. Whereas the Salomons. So Salomon's Quest is a good tried and true boot. I think for the majority of people, these are going to be where you're going to find the most bang for the buck. They do come in a little heavier, like I said, 24 ounces for this shoe. They come with a proprietary sole, I think is something called Contra Grip, and it's softer. I don't know if you can see this wear indicator here is already worn out a bit. For me, after a couple of seasons, I find that after a season of hard use, all of these seams in here, and we're gonna get it closer up, all these seams in here wear out quickly. I get a lot of moisture coming in. It's not too great, but my socks do get wet, any type of stream crossings. You can do a water treatment, but there's just so many seams, textiles, different types of fabrics that's used in here that I don't think that's gonna be the end all be all. This is a boot I'm gonna grab for a nice, easy trail walk. I don't think I would replace these for another backpacking or aggressive hiking boot. I think I'm gonna stay with Scarpa because of the weight and the terrain that I'm in. I would see these getting retired and possibly replaced by one of the shoes instead of a full boot by Salomon. Salomon makes good stuff, but this is just a bit subpar for what I like to do. Who could really enjoy this boot is your day hikers, your people out there sticking to the trails, not doing any heavy backpacking. This is a great boot. If you're out there doing some aggressive hiking, a lot of elevation gain, or backpacking, you may want to find a different boot. They're great overall, but for what I want to do, and that includes off-trail use, the Scarpa has really filled in that gap. I use these to hike White Peak Mountain, and coming through some of the scree fields, even though it was maintained, these boots give me pause for some of the stability issues. Okay, final verdict. It all comes down to user experience of what you expect and what you're going to do with your boots. These guys are a little bit more technical. I say kind of the off-road tires, mud terrain, all terrain. You're going to notice the stiffness and durability on pavement, just like a off-road tire. You get that loud hum and a sacrifice for comfort, but these guys shine on that off-trail use. So backpack hunting, when you're going to put miles off trail and get away from the highways of the wilderness, so to speak. Durability, I think the single wrap of suede leather here, the Peranga leather, offers more water resistance than the Salomon's. The asymmetrical lacing also provides a bit more customization when it comes to go ahead and making that secure around your foot. The full rubber, well, partial Baran around the toe box is superior to this thing, which already starting to leak and have to use some shoe goo. And just that torsional, that stiffness off trail is going to impart a lot of confidence and give you the ability to go ahead and move around out there without thinking that you're going to slip, slide, or roll your ankle. Whereas this guy, it's soft. He's not a bad boot, but this is going to be the go-to for majority of people, whether you're out there want a nice boot to hike and walk your dog, day hikers, whatnot. You can't go wrong with this, but it's not the same, I would say, class. I think this takes it to the next higher degree in terms of technical capability, but this is also a good boot overall. I have a little bit of complaints with the durability, the water resistance with all these seams and different textile use. It runs a little heavier than the Zodiacs, but the Salomons also are slightly cheaper, so you do have the cost to performance sacrifice. Both boots, great boots. All depends on your use. You can't go wrong either way, but if you needed something a little bit more technical, go the Zodiacs. If you're going out there backpack hiking, nothing too crazy, Salomon Quest all the way. All right, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a big thumbs up. Click over here to see more, and I'll see you guys next time.